Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's some setups we recognize here. Commentators, let's hear what's on the field.
Alright, I'm Kill 2. I'm here with Darius Johnson. We're looking at Get Off My Lawn versus Ronin. For Get Off My Lawn in red, on the left, we have a Macarial, 2 Rooks, 2 Curses, 1 Scimitar, 1 Saber, 1 Thrasher, and 2 Carries.
For the Ronin, we have 2 Proteus, a Loki, 3 Purifiers, a Nemesis, a Guardian, a Cyclone, and a Daredevil. So once again, we're looking at a 4 stealth bomber team, which seems to be popular.
Yeah, and also we're looking at teams that are really similar to the setups they brought last week. Get Off My Lawn particularly brought this same Macarial, double Rook, double Curse Scimitar setup last week. It did really well, and Ronin brought 2 Proteus last week. They did have a bit different of a setup. There was more drone ships, Myrmidons, and Ishkars and stuff like that. So we'll see how the switch to bombers goes for them. These teams start out pretty close to each other. Another situation where both teams warp at long range to the beacon and wind up pretty close to each other, actually, because of the angle.
Yeah, and we're not going to see any oh, yeah, there we go. We're going to see some bombs, and they may bomb themselves.
They're going to hit something, that's for sure. Here we go. Ooh, Rook. Oh, Rook out because of bombs. Ouch, that hurts. But they did maybe hit themselves a bit. Purifier went down. Actually, he was down anyway. They hit the Proteuses, but I suppose that's not too big of a deal. One of the Curses took a lot of damage as well. So, yeah, we'll have to see how the damage kind of levels out now that the bombs are done.
Yeah, and we have some, on the field, we have some Hobgoblin 2s on the Ronin side. And some Valkyrie 2s, it looks like, on the Get Off My Lawn side.
And it looks like this Rook is in pretty bad shape. The second Rook for Get Off My Lawn, he's got a lot of ships on top of him, including at least 2 or 3 of those, at least 2 of the Tech 3 ships. And there goes one more frigate for the Ronin. I don't remember what it was, pardon my ignorance there. This Curse taking a lot of damage, and the Rook. There goes the Rook, so now no more jamming left. I don't know if there's much tracking disruption on these Curses, at least a little bit I can see, which will be hard for the Proteuses, but it probably isn't enough to totally disrupt the team. There goes another Stealth Bomber, so trading ships back and forth here.
That was actually a Purifier that had been blown up earlier, so they have 2 Purifiers down. That Curse is now out of shields and is already in 25% armor. That's not going to last much longer. On the Ronin side, we still have 2 Proteus, a Loki, Purifier, a Nemesis, a Guardian, and a Cyclone. As another ship for as the Curse for Get Off My Lawn explodes.
You're wrong. I remembered. It was a Daredevil. So anyway, now a lot of damage spread. There goes another Purifier. Only 1 bomber left for Ronin, and it's going down fast as well. Still the logistics up for both teams. Most of the recons down for Get Off My Lawn. The Macarial starting to take some damage. Keep in mind that Macarial is shield tanked, unlike the ROL armor tanked ones we saw a little earlier. He's pulling the shields back, no problem, but the Scimitar starting to take a lot of damage. Last bomber went down there a second ago for the Ronin, so now mostly big ships left on the field for the Ronin. And Get Off My Lawn in pretty bad shape. They're starting to lose frigs as well.
Yeah, and we're seeing some damage on the Proteuses, but that for the most part was caused by their own bombs. About 10% armor damage there. And their Guardian is taking some armor damage as well, but really nothing, to write home about. Get Off My Lawn's Macarial is now starting to show some shield damage. But even on that side, we're not seeing a whole lot of activity.
And keep in mind, the main purpose, most likely for this Loki, as well as the Cyclone that are left on the field for the Ronin, is those gang links. There's definitely gang links running, either that or sensor boosters on the Loki, but I don't really like the chance of sensor boosters. And the Cyclone running gang links as well. So not tons of damage probably left on the field for the Ronin with all their stealth bombers gone. Their Guardian now at about half armor. But that's not too big of a concern. The Curse for Get Off My Lawn goes down, wow, really quick right there once his shields were gone. So should be easy for the Guardian to recover cap a little bit and start to get back his tank. Not look good at all for Get Off My Lawn.
Yeah, Get Off My Lawn also, as you were speaking, lost to Saber. That Guardian on Tormentum is down to about, it has about 25% armor damage. I'm going to go ahead and play Internet Psychic and say that that Guardian is going to survive. I'm sorry, on the Ronin side.
Yeah, I think definitely so. He has a big blob of armor rep bots, even though some of them are Tech 1. I just, like, for some reason, Tech 1 drones, like, make me cringe in the tournament. I guess it's hard to have skill points for absolutely everything. So, just this Macariel left. He's tackled. Their DPS should catch up in just a second here, and we'll start to see him drop. I'm wondering about kind of the viability of dampening as a devoted E-War strategy. You know, we saw carries here. I suppose that's meant to be in combination with the rooks, which can be really strong. So once they lost the rooks, it's not as good. But, you know, that's a couple frigs that could have been doing a lot more damage or something to kind of tip the scales early in this fight.
Yes, indeed. And Get Off My Lawn's Macariel is now out of shields. It was shield tanking, so that's going to fall pretty fast. It's already at 50% armor. And it looks like Get Off My Lawn has switched primaries to the Ronin's Cyclone. As I spoke, that Macariel has exploded, leaving only 2 carries for Get Off My Lawn, and those are not going to live very long.
Unless they do what you hate and run around the arena. They move at least 3k per second from what I can see, and there isn't too much speed going on this Ronin team. So I guess it depends on what kind of mood the carries are in, if they want to stick around and let the match end or kind of enjoy some time making you angry.
Well, maybe they'll be chill carries, which are indeed my favorite time, and are kind, and die with honor.
I don't think that's the case, unfortunately. So this is kind of surprising, actually. I don't know, bomber. You know, it's like we've been talking about how strong bomber setups are, and then the Ronin loses all their bombers and still wins the match. It's kind of weird to see it go to kind of a middle ground like that, which is good for Get Off My Lawn. They may get enough points to get them through, although they only really killed frigates, so I don't know. But it's rare. I mean, usually we see either the tanks hold strong and the bombers absolutely decimate the other team, or we saw it in the last match, the bomber team get totally rocked, you know, and lose everything. So it's kind of weird that they had enough damage left over in the form of the Proteuses and the battle, you know, the Loki and the Cyclone to kind of finish this match off, even though they lost what sort of is the main part of their concept in those bombers.
Yeah, something else to know about the bombers, which is something we see a lot of as well, is that they not only got over the handicapping loss of those bombers, but they also bombed themselves and managed to come through okay. And as I say that, one of the carries is down, leaving 1 carries remaining on the field for Get Off My Lawn.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Bombing your own team, definitely not a good idea for the most part. If you got to do it, I guess the Proteus is a good ship to do it to, but most teams haven't bombed themselves, so I guess that's good. That's a good sign for the quality of PvPers in the tournament so far. This carries that was, you know, scooting around the arena as fast as he could has now come to a complete stop. So hopefully something comes out here and hits him once or twice before he speeds up again, but oh no, there he goes.
No chill carries. As the carries races around the room, it might be... No, he's not. Yeah, he's just going to kind of circle around the arena. This is what we do when there's only 1 ship remaining.
So, Darius, what do you think about bringing Tech 3 instead of, like, Slipners, like we've seen with bombers and other setups, like, you know, the 2 Proteus Loki thing here, instead of bringing some battle cruisers or some rooks? I don't know how I feel about the Tech 3 option.
I like Tech 3, but I don't like it. I don't like watching it in the tournament. I think that the battle cruiser teams tend to be, at least for me personally, more exciting.
Yeah. The Tech 3, especially the Proteuses, kind of are I guess mediocre. They're like sort of a lot of damage. They're kind of mobile. They have pretty good tanks. It's not as exaggerated as what you see out of like a Slipner setup or something that's kind of a little more focused. But they are kind of different, I guess, so that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're different, and you know that when they get blown up, dude's going to lose a skill, which is always, you know, cool as well. But, you know, just from my perspective, the T3 fielding teams tend to be uninteresting.
Yeah, this carry is still running around. It's interesting. Well, it's not actually interesting, but the ships that do this kind of obligate the other team to loot all the wrecks. A lot of people ask about the loot in case you haven't kind of heard about that in the tournament already. Loot the field gets cleared when the match is over. So if you wipe out a team and warp away, or wipe out a team and win, you're not going to get to loot because you're not going to have time because you're going to get sent out of the arena and on your way. But if you're stuck like this with nothing going on for a while, you're free to loot until the match ends. So I'm sure these guys will pick up everything that's on the field.
Yeah, and I don't think we have much time left, so I'm not sure they're going to be doing much more along the lines of looting. It looks like they're trying to chase down that carries, but I'm not sure they'll be able to catch him before the match ends.
I have an interesting idea, because a lot of time we get to this point where there's a ship running around like this, and it's like there has to be a negotiation with the pilot left on the field, saying, hey, is it okay if we call the match because we don't want to watch you fly around for a long time? So I'm thinking maybe we should instate like a EVE-TV expert, 10 million ISK per expert per self-destruct sequence in the tournament. So whenever it gets to this point, the ship left can self-destruct and they'll get 10 million from each expert. I'll have to check in with you guys and see how you feel about that.
I'm completely on board with that. I think it's a wonderful idea. What I would like to add is that I think the money should come from your wallet.
Well, I did say each expert, so I'm going to include you in that, be generous, and say you too can send 10 million as an expert to people who self-destruct, if that's all right.
Yeah, you can say it. I just wouldn't, if I was any of them, be expecting to actually get any money from me.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I will contribute on Darius's behalf. And with that, the match is over, and they have negotiated that ceasefire, so we're going to send it back to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. The lone Karas surviving there from Get Off My Lawn, the Ronin, looking strong this match again. We have 2 matches left today. That is Rage, who took the last-minute ticket last Saturday, took the spot from Goonswarm and absolutely obliterated Circle Noir. Rage versus Solar Fleet. Then we have Death from Above versus the Romanian Legion. But first, the Rage match at 2020 Eve.